inhumane treatment of human beings or animals I've ever seen. By throwing from the housing and throwing the police. I don't even know what we can see. I know that we are on a bridge with no lights, no food, no water, and it's extremely cold. Oh, there's a light, and this where Toronto Community Housing and the Toronto Police have me and my dog sleeping after a fire in my unit, the 4301 Kingston Road. That was from an electrical outlet. Somehow they say the fire chief says it was arson, which is impossible. And the only possibility is if the fire chief was saying the individual who had put it in that room with my two cats did commit arson. So if that's the case, if that's the only possibility, then why would I and the animal be the one who is held accountable? Now, I don't believe that this individual did, but there's only one way to prove that. This individual had a whole coffee grinder from the 1900s that belonged to his mother and a photo of his mother. So if that coffee grinder is not in the room where the fire was, right, then naturally that is the possibility, or the photo of his mother. But we don't get to show that because the fire marshal, police in Toronto Community Housing, decided that I committed mischievous negligence and arson. When arson is a serious act, arson is a deliberate act. So how can you have a mischievous negligent act in the same act that you said was done deliberately? Which is it? Then you force us in cuffs, force us to say we're not going to be within 500 meters of the unit, and to save the animals, and so that I don't die. It's in a freezing cell at the age of 61 years old. Right? We agreed what we showed without any doubt that this fire was 100 times, 1,000 times more likely than not. An electrical fire. And then it turns out through connection, this animal that I rescued was initially owned for 13 years by another woman who lived in Toronto Community Housing. And in turn, her house, who and NSA just provided terrible floods, house had burnt down. And we went in and cleaned it. And because they saw the debris that I cleaned out there, they came and said that this dog didn't have a right to his home. And this is where we have to go. With no legal, no possibility that I or this animal did anything wrong. They decided that they can write up anything, even though it's ridiculous and untrue and would be unbelievable to write, saying that a cigarette in the living room went through a closed door into the bedroom and started an electrical fire, which constitutes arson on my behalf. Imagine that, eh? That's the allegations. That I lit a cigarette in the living room where I stay, and the cigarette went through a closed door and into the bedroom where the individual I have Paul stayed and started an electrical fire that burnt down that room, and I did deliver it. And that's grounds to order me and the dog homeless. And they said they came to that conclusion. The arson investigation, the police investigation, within 2 hours after the fire. 647-745-2768 or email creating, CREATING, good, GOOD, people, POPLE, @gmail.com. If you have any love for humans or animals, because it's the cruelest cruelest human and animal abuse I've seen in the city of Toronto, in this country. Fabricating allegations to get rid of somebody who had taken both your department, the police and housing, to court, and who has advocated vigorously to fix Toronto community housing, and housing has done everything to try and get him out, even through a racist 8 gangs at him, even at his door, kicked down, or whatever they had done. You'll see all the videos. Scott Laurie attacks Kevin Clark, or Toronto Community Housing Kevin Clark, just Google it. And because of all those, housing somehow convinced a detective or someone in the police to say, hey, let's try and get him out this way. Force him out illegally. And that is the case. And time, you can go back to his unit once, but you can't take 4 videos. Why? Well, because we're covering up the fact of an electrical fire. If you take 4 of the videos, you will show clearly it was. Good night, I only got 1% on my phone.